A team investigating an area the size of more than, get this, 25 football pitches. 25 football pitches in St Neots has uncovered the remains of a farming community, potentially dating back to the Iron Age. Archaeologists have found evidence of people living on Monksfield development site for more than 700 years. Mark Hinman is the director and regional manager at Pre-Construct Archeology, who are around halfway through their excavation. Mark, this is ridiculously exciting. What have you found?
Oh, good morning, Louise. It's fantastic, really. The site has been ongoing now since the beginning of the year, and we've got several areas open, and we've got various sort of farms from the Iron Age and the fields that went with them, the enclosures that people kept their animals in, the houses, the water holes where they got their water from, and all of the things they used and threw away. So yeah, it's hard to sort of sum up, really, because as you say, it's an enormously large area.
So Mark, in my head, and it may surprise you to know I'm not an archaeologist, in my head now, the way you're describing it is that you've all been on your hands and knees digging, and over time found all the things that you've just mentioned in their exact same spot. Have you found everything laid out as if it happened yesterday, or have you found things that now retrospectively you're piecing together and figuring out where they would have been?
Right. Things are very much where they were left or where they were deposited. You know, we're not dealing with perfect preservation here because all of the fields have been ploughed since, you know, the Saxon and the medieval period, and we can see all the evidence for that going on as well into the modern period. But, yeah, where you've got deeper ditches or pits, you can see things that people have sort of put away for safekeeping as well as things that they've casually thrown away. And yeah, it gives a really complete picture of life from, say, 300 BC through to the end of the Roman period so far. Although last week we think we found our first evidence of Saxon activity.
Oh my goodness! So what's the process of dating it now? Do you keep it in? How much can you keep in situ? How much do you take away? What happens to it once you have taken it away?
Right. Well, the reason we're there is because our clients, Gallagher Estates, are going to be building houses on this site, as they did on the site next door, and I worked for them on that one many years ago, actually, now. And so what we do is we dig up bits of the stuff that's been left in the ground by the Iron Age and Roman people. It's all different in terms of its shapes and technology, in terms of pottery or what have you. So we dig that up, we clean it up back at the office, and we have a range of specialists who look at all of the different bits and extract an extraordinary amount of detail from it.
And then where does it go? Like, will it go to museums? Is it of kind of? I mean, I know it's so exciting to discover, but realistically, is anybody going to want it?
Well, there is a lot, and it was mainly rubbish. So most museums don't want everything, shall we say? But there's a collection of coins that we found on the site next door in 2004 in the St Neots Museum, and I think they're a great asset. And we have mounted displays at the museum, at the community centre at St Neots as well. But most of it will go into boxes and go into deep storage in the salt mines, which are the archive deposition point for Cambridgeshire sites. So, but that'll be years from now. We've got a lot of work to do before it goes down the mines.
Mark, do you still get excited when you make these discoveries? Because to a layman like me, the idea that under an area where loads of modern day people are going to live and go about their daily lives, there is an absolute treasure trove of Iron Age and even Saxon memorabilia, for want of a better word. I mean, it makes the hairs on my arms stand on end.
I'd still get a thrill out of it. I've been doing it for over 40 years now, and when you come across things which people have carefully placed in the ground 2,000, 3,000 or 4,000 years or more ago, and you're the first people to see them and touch them in all that time, you get a real sense of connection with the past. And it's genuinely transformed how I look at the landscape around St Neots. It's an ancient landscape, and it was already old by the time that these people moved onto it in the Iron Age. So I do get a real thrill from it, yes.
Mark, thank you so much for coming on. Keep us posted if you find anything more exciting as well, won't you?
Yeah, you can always keep an eye out on our website, and for any of your listeners that want to find out more, we've got a conference with the Cambridge Antiquarian Society on Saturday the 19th of November in Cambridge, and they can find details of that on our website. Okay.
Mark, thank you. And it's Pre-Construct Archeology where you work, so that's the website to Google, right?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Mark, thank you so much. Mark Hinman there, the Director and Regional Manager at Pre-Construct Archeology. Good morning.